Hey everyone, welcome back to Microsoft Excel Day 3. As you can see, I'm dressed up. I hope everyone's doing well in Delaware. I am still out here in Chicago with Pfeiffer's Business Professionals of America team, and we're doing well in our competition. So that's the good news, but let's get to learning and continue with Excel. So a quick review. You may not have seen this feature yet, but I'm going to go over a quick shortcut on how to add more cells in rows and columns to Microsoft Excel. So this could be frustrating where you're trying to make a gap, and there's a key click that you should hit to be able to do this. So let me show you real quick. Please make sure if you don't have already, the slides open. That's what I'm referring to. I have my notes in front of me, but make sure, and again, you can pause at any moment, go back, and rewatch as needed. That's why I'm doing this video, why I'm out in Chicago. So our first step, we're going to enter numbers 1 through 12. We will do this in cells A13 through A14. So let me show you what I do. I click on A3. And what I'm going to do is just type in simply 1 through 12. 1, enter 2, enter 3, all the way down. Let me show you a quick shortcut before I do that. I'm going to take a pause. Rather than type 12 numbers, even though they're easy, let's do this as a time saver. So remember this quick option. If I highlight all these cells, and the key thing here is bottom right. Notice whenever something changes in Excel, you know it's a good thing. So I hover right over this little tiny square next to the 4. I click, hold, and drag, and watch the magic happen. Without typing in, I have 12 numbers, and I didn't even need to do a thing. It was one click. That's a shortcut. Again, I click, I hold, and I drag once I type in a few numbers. So there you go. Cells A3 through A14, I have numbers 1 through 12. Now, let's say your teacher, it's a math class in high school, and they say, hey, we are doing 3 sections, so obviously 12 numbers. We want to divide this up into 3 groups of 4 numbers. So with all that being said, a lot of information I'm throwing out at you. Simply what my objective is, what I want to do is cut this into 3. So what I'm going to do is you're going to click on row. Remember, row is defined by a number. Click on the row, and you'll notice a whole row highlights. Now, don't forget about the easy steps with a mouse. I know a lot of you do Control V, Control C, but a mouse is actually, you think it's old school. It's a good route to get into practice using for Excel. So right click on the 7. You'll notice it says insert. Well, it's telling you to insert a row. And there you go. You got a gap. Let's try that one more time. So on yours, again, yours look exactly like mine at this point. I scroll down. And basically 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to put a gap between the 8 and the 9. So I go to the 12. I click first. I highlight them all. And then I right click and I hit insert. There you go. Now, if you know how to insert, you know how to delete. What do you guys think? So pause my video right now and try to delete those 2 spaces you just created. Okay. So if you haven't figured it out, you go back and right click, delete. I know some of you might go, oh, I'll just hit undo. Fine. But let's say that you add more things to your sheet. You don't want to go back and undo everything. Making sure that you know how to right click and also delete a row is extremely important. Okay, so far, let's review what we've done. We've added spaces. You've learned that feature, the drag, click, and hold to add more numbers. Now we're going to get into sorting a list alphabetically. This is part of your exit ticket that's graded today. Again, on your spreadsheet, what we're going to do is, let's see what I had written down to you. Cells E3 through E7. So we're going to write, let's go with these numbers. So you're going to type, let's get rid of this for today. So ignore what I have on when it says sort in a list alphabetically, but I want you to delete your numbers for today. So what we're going to do here, that was just a review and a practice. On A3, what I want us to do is you'll notice on one of my slides where it says sort in our results, we're going to type in the following. So exactly, and again, if you need a pause to give you more time, absolutely fine with me. So you should be typing exactly what I am typing right now. And you probably caught a mistake already. And don't forget, a lot of review with Excel. How do I create the Milky Way? Because it's going into cell B. Anyone remember? If you said yes, go between the A and the B. There's a little black cross, double click, and it extends the line. So that's a good trick. All right, so we are going to use the sort and filter option. We're learning about this today. What sort and filter means is you can sort a list by number or by the alphabet. We call that numerical or alphabetically. So as you can see in front of you, this list of candy is great. We're getting hungry, but it's not alphabetized. So how do we quickly do that? The first step in order to change anything, you've learned this from day one, is to do what? If you said select all the things you want to edit, you're correct. So again, left click, hold, and select anything you want to edit. Now, follow my mouse all the way over to the top right. There's a sort and filter. You'll never forget this. Just as important, right next to the auto sum. So again, if you know where auto sum is, what we learned over the day, you know where this is. I click the sort and filter, and then let's go. I want to sort from A to Z. That's telling me I want to sort alphabetically, my candy list. I click that, boom. If yours looks like mine, Airheads, Kit Kat, Milky Way, I said Reeds, Nerds, and Reese's. I guess that's a new candy I created. Snickers, Starburst. So you guys get it. So alphabetical order, rather than you having to imagine a 50 list, and rather than doing that manually, going, oh, S, and reciting the alphabet, let's have the Excel doing the math for you. So again, it's up here, top right. If you know where auto sum is, sort and filter is going to be your best friend, especially as you're creating those big lists in high school, college, things like that. All right. So just going through my checklist here, we've done a lot of damage so far, a little bit left to tackle. Creating a graph. So this is where I talked about the other day is Excel not only collects information, but also you can create charts to transfer to a PowerPoint or transfer to a Google Slides. So this is a key thing, especially if you're making presentations out of numbers, to be able to do. All right, so what we're going to do here is let's create this and let's add numbers to this. We need numbers to this to be able to do this effectively. So what we're going to do in slide, after where it says provide an eye-catching graphs, you'll notice you're going to plug in numbers next to all these numbers. So here's the following numbers that are based on your sheet. All right, pretty simple numbers. So again, make sure you're following that list. Yours should look like mine. If you need to pause real quick to collect that, that's absolutely okay. So in order to change something again in Excel or anything else, I have to highlight. Select these all. All right, so how do I make this into a graph? Well, this is a little bit tricky, but again, you're going to train your eye to do this. So in the toolbar, remember the toolbar is all the way up top where you find your tools to be able to create something. We're going to click insert. Of course, we want to insert something into our document. And what I want you to click on right about the center, yours might look differently compared to mine, but the key word you want to look for is recommended chart. Click recommended chart. All right. For today, we are just going to add the first one. And if it says clustered column, you are good to go. So the first one, and just hit OK. Wow. So look at all that magic you've done just from hitting probably 3 or 4 clicks. You didn't even need to do much. You added numbers and you told Excel create a chart. All right, for your exit ticket, there's a couple things I want you to do. You notice how I'm making mine smaller right now. It's always just a best skill to learn. If your graph is too big and your numbers are small, we call it not presentable. You want to make sure it's cleaned up, a nice organized space. So if I look at it real quick, I can see everything. Let's first change after you adjusted the size to make it easier for you to read, we're going to change the chart title. How we do that, let's double click into chart title. And it allows you to edit. Anything double clicking into something allows you to change it. And we're going to title this business class candy results. That's how I have it titled. Exactly like mine. Again, if you need a pause, that's fun. Okay, we're almost done for the day. Again, in my video, I've gone through this quickly, but you have time to pause this and really stay tuned and make sure you get this right. Did you know, and I'd recommend you do this, if I see this in your exit ticket, you're doing the right thing. Click on the chart. Again, to change anything, if you click, you'll notice that the top toolbar, let's change it to whatever color and chart you want. I kind of like selfishly the ones with numbers because it's easier to read. You'll see what I mean in a second. So I'm scrolling. Here we go. So something like this or like this even. Let's go with this one. When I'm presenting information, the numbers on the left, yes, they basically you took that and allowed it to be used here. But imagine presenting this. It's easy to see the most popular just visually. Reese's I see at 20, Twix at 1, Airheads at 10, and so on. So using this feature again, if I click on this chart and I go up top, you can start really creating colors, choosing fonts. Again, if I want to change the color of my graph, watch how cool this is. I feel, I don't know, being corny today. I feel like an orange type of person today. So there you go. From this option, please use this. You can start to go crazy with the way it looks and really like your resume add to your personality. That's all I had for today. Again, please make sure that other students feel comfortable, be a leader if this is easy for you, and make sure they know how to access this information in this great YouTube video that I'm helping you guys out with. All right, guys, best of the luck. Make sure to save this when you're done as exit ticket 3 your name. Save, save, save. That's one of our general best practices. Okay, guys, have a good one.